Lily's dad, in his simple ash gray work clothes, emerged from their small, rustic wooden house. In his hands were a pristine white porcelain plate and a small earthenware cup, perhaps filled with food, for the special residents of their garden. Dad leisurely slowly walked towards the small crystal-clear pond, nestled peacefully beside a dense thicket of trees, where the calm water surface, like a giant mirror, reflected the clear early morning sky and the lazily drifting white clouds. The image of 5 little ducklings with shiny golden feathers, tiny like mobile cotton balls, frolicking and swimming near a charming little house made of bamboo and thatched with rustic straw, created a truly peaceful, serene, and very countryside scene. Lily, in her comfortable, brightly colored home clothes, and even wearing a pair of round-rimmed black glasses that made her look very much like an intellectual, was sitting upright, back straight at her cute little study desk set up in the corner of the room. She held a bright red crayon firmly in her hand, trying to imitate the actions she often saw Dad do, writing or drawing squiggly, incomprehensible lines in a pristine white notebook, still fragrant with new paper. The first stop on her morning exploration journey was the prominent cream yellow refrigerator in the kitchen corner. Lily curiously approached it, then using all her might, tiptoeing a little, tried to open the rather heavy freezer door at the top. Click-a-lot! The refrigerator door finally yielded to the little monkey's persistence and somewhat stubbornness. Lily delightedly peeked inside her round eyes, scanning everything, then decided to take out a transparent plastic box which seemed to contain some kind of dark brown powder, possibly fragrant cocoa powder or nutritious cereal that Dad often used. But perhaps because the box was a bit heavy for Lily's strength, or because she was too eager to bring her spoils to the table to enjoy as she tried to move it, a little powder unfortunately spilled onto the clean, shiny floor. Lily paused slightly, looking at the spilled powder with a somewhat dazed expression. Then she plopped down on the floor. While Lily was struggling with the powder, more of it continued to spill here and there on the floor. Undeterred by this small failure, Lily stood up, once again opened the refrigerator door, and this time her target was a carton of cool, fresh milk. She carefully carried the milk carton to the small table, perhaps intending to enjoy this favorite drink after she had dealt with the cocoa powder. But then it seemed the sense of responsibility that Dad had carefully taught her surged strongly within Lily. She couldn't ignore her mistake. Lily ran to find, then managed to get a large, soft paper towel. She returned carefully, using the paper towel to wipe up both the tabletop and the part of the floor that had been soiled by cocoa powder and fresh milk. Although her tiny hands were still very clumsy, and her wiping motions were still awkward, Lily's effort and self-awareness were truly commendable and touching. After wiping, she obediently found the trash can, opened the lid, and put the dirty paper towel in the right place. Not stopping there, Lily continued to walk around the house, picking up tiny crumbs, any remaining powder particles on the floor, and putting them all in the trash, determined to restore the clean, pristine state of her beloved home. Outside in the yard, after a period of diligent and tireless work, Dad had also finished weeding around the house. He propped the hoe in a corner, then slung it onto his sturdy shoulder, leisurely walking towards the small wooden house, opening the door, and stepping inside to rest for a bit, perhaps to drink some water to quench his thirst. Afterwards, as an indispensable daily habit, Dad left the house, again slowly heading towards the small pond where the flock of ducklings was still playing. Dad probably wanted to check if the little ducklings had eaten their fill, or if they needed any further assistance. Dad's love was not reserved only for Lily. Meanwhile, inside, Lily had a new task to complete. She was sitting on a cool, polished black stone step on the veranda, trying to use her tiny hands to take off the t-shirt she was wearing. Perhaps the shirt had gotten dirty while she was playing with the powder or drinking milk. After a while of struggling, twisting, and turning in every possible way, unbuttoning each button if any, or trying with difficulty to pull her head through the collar, Lily finally managed to take off the shirt by herself. With a commendable spirit of independence, she took the shirt she had just removed, walked straight to the modern fancy front-loading washing machine placed in a corner of the yard. Lily tried to tiptoe, using all her might to stuff the dirty shirt into the empty washing drum. She walked into her familiar bedroom, skillfully climbed onto her spacious, comfortable bed, and found her teddy bear dressed in a blue knitted sweater, her close friend indispensable in every sleep. Lily lovingly hugged the teddy bear tightly, nuzzling her small face into its soft, smooth fur. At the same time, Dad came into the house from outside. He took off his outer jacket, which was dotted with sweat, then gently placed the small table near the refrigerator, back to its original position where Lily had accidentally moved it while playing earlier. Dad opened the refrigerator door, took out the box of brown powder that Lily had spilled some of earlier, perhaps to tidy it away properly, or to check if it was damaged. Returning to the bedroom, Lily had quickly fallen into a deep sleep, her hands still tightly clutching her beloved teddy bear. Dad gently entered the room, making no sound, and stood quietly at the door, watching his little daughter sleeping soundly peacefully. His eyes at this moment were filled with boundless love and an indescribable tenderness. Dad quietly left Lily's bedroom, trying not to disturb his daughter's precious sleep. Then, he began the task of tidying up the entire house, using a pretty pink long-handled mop.
Đây đi.
Lily snuggled close to Dad's sturdy legs in an area piled high with dry straw. Dad squatted down his kind, gentle eyes, looking at his little daughter, who was curiously exploring her surroundings. Then, Dad lifted Lily into his arms, and father and daughter began a new journey of discovery. They walked together on a narrow dirt path, overgrown with grass winding through bushes taller than their heads, feeling the wildness and closeness of nature. Their next destination on this trip was a neighbor's chicken coop, where many chickens of various colors and sizes were freely roaming and foraging. Lily seemed a little scared and somewhat unfamiliar when she saw so many chickens at once for the first time in her life. She timidly pressed closer into Dad's embrace, seeking protection.
Hi.
Dad again slowly squatted down one arm, holding Lily, the other gently stroking her small back, whispering soft words of comfort and reassurance. A little later, when she felt calmer and safer in Dad's arms, Lily curiously climbed onto an old rickety table placed in a corner of the yard. On the table were many miscellaneous old items and a tin box of food. She skillfully used her hands to open the lid of the box and delightedly took out something round and whitish, perhaps a type of biscuit.
Gà to hòn ly kìa Ly. Thấy không? Cái gà to. Đi vào lấy đồ ăn cho gà đi con. Đúng rồi. Đi lấy đi. Rồi mang con đây đi.
Afterwards, father and daughter sat squatting together on a cool cement step. Dad took out a few golden yellow kernels from his pocket, perhaps corn, or peanuts, poured them onto two small tin lids, and offered them to Lily to eat. Lily delightedly used her tiny fingers to pick up each kernel and put it in her mouth, chewing with relish. Finally, On this outing, Lily was again led by Dad to an area where there was a large wooden barrel filled with fresh, newly laid chicken eggs. Dad pointed to the round, smooth, pinkish-white eggs, some still dotted with a few specks of dirt, then gently took Lily's hand, guiding her on how to carefully pick up each egg and place it into a small, pretty bamboo basket, already lined with dry straw. Lily appeared very focused and carefully followed Dad's every instruction, picking up each egg with utmost care and respect.
Lily, đây rồi, đó rồi. Mang cái đồ qua đây ba nè, mang cái đồ qua đây. Lấy cái đồ kia.
Dad wore a proud smile as he looked at the basket of eggs, now full from the diligent labor of father and daughter. He carried Lily in one arm and the heavy basket of eggs in the other, walking together into the house. Lily was privileged by Dad to sit comfortably on her favorite cream yellow upholstered sofa in the living room, perhaps to rest after a strenuous morning of work. Dad went into the kitchen, skillfully took a few fresh chicken eggs from the basket, cracked them into a white porcelain bowl, added a pinch of seasoning, then used chopsticks to beat them until fluffy. Afterwards, Dad heated a pan on the stove, added a little cooking oil, then poured the egg mixture in, frying it into golden, fluffy, and fragrant omelets. Dad carefully sliced the fried eggs into small, manageable pieces, then placed them on a white porcelain plate, garnished with a few sprigs of fresh green cilantro, and brought it out to the table, placing it right in front of Lily, who was waiting with eager anticipation. Lily seemed to be very fond of and interested in this four-legged friend. She showed no fear at all, and even gently reached out her small hand to touch the goat's soft head. A very friendly and lovely gesture of acquaintance. Meanwhile, somewhere else, Dad was alone, riding his familiar motorbike to a small roadside grocery store and quickly buying a bag of fresh green vegetables, perhaps to prepare ingredients for a hearty family lunch. Returning to Lily and her new goat friend, after a while of getting acquainted, she had become much bolder and more mischievous. Lily skillfully climbed onto the broad and probably very warm back of the goat, who was leisurely grazing on tender grass shoots near the base of an ancient tree. Lily held on tightly to the goat's soft white fur, her small face beaming with delight and extreme excitement at this unique and novel goat riding game. The goat wearing the yellow straw hat still stood leisurely and unhurriedly on a spacious verdant patch of open land, occasionally bending down gracefully to nibble on tender, sweet young grass shoots. Lily, after a while of being carried around the yard by her goat steed, was perhaps also a bit tired. She still sat firmly on her friend's back, but seemed calmer and less talkative. Dad approached from afar, perhaps with some food in his hands, partly for Lily, and partly to share with the kind goat friend who had brought joy to his little daughter. Lily's day thus gently passed with experiences that were very simple, close to nature, yet also truly memorable and meaningful. From household chores, however small, that demonstrated self-awareness, mischievous pranks that were sometimes a bit overboard, but incredibly endearing first life lessons about independence and kindness, to being loved and cared for in every little detail by Dad, and making friends and playing with gentle animal companions. Every moment was a pink brick, a bright color building a truly sweet childhood, a small family always filled with laughter and immeasurable happiness. The indoor adventure continued, leading Lily to the dining table, where a rustic woven bamboo basket was filled with fresh, plump green beans. The fresh green color of the beans was inviting. Lily gently climbed onto a chair and then, in a flash, was seated on the tabletop. She eyed the basket of beans for a moment, then surprisingly used both hands to pick up the basket. Perhaps the basket was a bit heavy for Lily, or maybe it was a mischievous impulse, but she decided to take this treasure elsewhere. Lily awkwardly carried the basket of beans, wriggling under the table. This hard work seemed to have drained a lot of the little monkey's energy. As soon as she finished her task, Lily sat on the floor hugging the basket and began to enjoy the fruits of her labor. She picked up a bean, brought it to her mouth, and crunched on it happily. After the eventful but enjoyable snack, Lily got a new accessory. It was a tiny straw hat, very skillfully woven, that fit her head perfectly. Her playtime on the patio led Lily to a grassy area near a simple wooden structure, perhaps an unused animal pen. Lily, still wearing the straw hat and carrying the basket now with considerably fewer beans, curiously approached it. Suddenly, from behind the wooden structure, a new friend appeared. It was a mountain goat with a snow-white coat, gentle eyes, and a funny long beard. The goat calmly walked over, apparently attracted by the basket in Lily's hand. Without any hesitation, the goat lowered its head and gently nibbled at the remaining green beans in the basket. Lily stood still, looking up at her brand new friend. She showed no fear or annoyance, but seemed to possess a quiet curiosity and acceptance. When the basket was completely empty after the impromptu feast with the goat, Lily carried the empty basket around the house as if on an important mission. Finally, she placed the basket on the kitchen counter, neat and tidy. After buying all the necessary items, Dad placed the full basket in the front carrier of the green motorbike. The journey home began. The familiar motorbike chugged along the village road, carrying the fresh produce from the market. Lily, perhaps having been coaxed by Dad, waited at home. When the iron gate creaked open, signaling Dad's return, Lily ran out to greet him.
Lily, nè, đây. Gì đấy? Nè, tao mua đồ này. Mua đồ về ăn đấy.
The small kitchen became bustling again. Dad began to unpack the groceries. The little monkey, with her inherent curiosity, couldn't stand still. Lily hopped onto a tall chair, then onto the kitchen counter, standing right next to Dad, watching his every move. Cucumbers were washed under cool, running water. The trickling sound was cheerful. Bunches of fresh green vegetables, still dotted with tiny water droplets, were placed neatly in a colander. Pearly white fresh bean sprouts were also taken out. Lily occasionally brought her little nose close to sniff, as if to inspect the quality of each food item. A little later, Dad began to prepare a light meal. On a dark wooden cutting board, slices of sandwich bread were laid out. Next came crisp green lettuce leaves, a few slices of ripe red tomato, and some thinly sliced onion. The fresh, cool aroma of the vegetables blended with the smell of bread, creating an irresistible appeal. And then the most awaited moment arrived. Dad placed the plate with the delicious-looking sandwich on a small table. He sat down, then gently lifted Lily onto his lap. Dad tore off small pieces of the sandwich and carefully fed them to Lily. The little monkey accepted them with delight, her cheeks puffed out as she chewed voraciously. The sweetness of the bread, the freshness of the lettuce, the slight tartness of the tomato, and the mild tang of the onion blended together, creating a wonderful taste. Lily ate with gusto, occasionally looking up at Dad with affectionate eyes, as if offering a sincere thank you. In that moment, the bond between human and animal became so warm and sacred.
Đây, ba làm cho Ly ăn thử nha. Đây, đi chờ tí, đi chờ tí. Ngon không? Được không?
The afternoon nap seemed to have fully recharged Lily. As the afternoon sun began to soften, the little monkey slowly woke up. Lily rubbed her eyes, yawned widely, then stretched contentedly. Her energy had returned, and Lily was ready for new mischief.
Dad.
She played happily with Dad, their giggles and affectionate gestures displaying their close bond.
Sao? Rồi Liên này đi với ba nhé, được không? Chơi với ba nhé. Hãy vào lấy túi đi, vào lấy túi của con đi, túi đồ đi, đây này. Đúng rồi, mang cái này con, kia. Giỏi lắm. Đây cho ba cái nào, đây. Lấy cái mũ đi con, lấy mũ đi. Đúng rồi. Đứng lên. Rồi, đi ra đây đi nào. Đi. Đứng im đi, đứng im ba chờ tí. Đây. Đây. Vào đây ha. Rồi. Để ba tí nhá. Rồi, đến xe nào. Qua đây nào. Bên đây. Rồi,
Suddenly, Dad took out a small, cute object. A toy helmet, bright blue, that fit Lily's head perfectly.
Ôm đây hả?
Dad gently placed the helmet on the little
Đi
racer.
nha.
Lily looked so cool, like a
Dad đi nha.
professional racer about to start an important race. She seemed very pleased with this new accessory, constantly turning her head to admire it. The little racer was ready for the next trip. Dad carefully picked Lily up, and they both went out to the yard, where the green motorbike was waiting. Lily was securely seated in the front basket, still wearing her cute helmet. The bike slowly started moving, taking the two friends away from the house onto quiet country roads, shaded by green trees. The golden afternoon sun cast long shadows over vast rice paddies.
Lý giỏ, đúng rồi. Đây này, giỏ này. Đi thôi. Nhanh lên.
The motorbike stopped at the edge of a small garden. Dad turned off the engine, gently lifted Lily from the bike, not forgetting to bring another small woven bamboo basket. They walked together, exploring the surrounding area. Dad's steps were unhurried on the soft green grass, while Lily was either carried by Dad or occasionally trotted along herself, still carrying her small basket, looking very grown up. The air here was so fresh and quiet. Birds chirped merrily in the bushes, insects buzzed, and the wind rustled through the leaves, all creating a symphony of nature.
Đây, con thử đi. Được không? Ngon không? Úi giời, ngon quá ha. Yeah. Nè. Lạc ngon ha. Đấy, bỏ đây nhá. Nè, con bỏ đây này. Bỏ đây này. Bỏ đây này. Bỏ đây này. Đâu rồi? Cái hạt con cầm đâu? Đây này. Bỏ đây ha. Đúng rồi. Lấy này, bỏ đây này. Cái lấy đi. Rồi đi nè. Cầm đi con, cầm hai tay con. Cầm hai tay nhé. Rồi đi. Đi Lia. Đi nè. Đi thẳng. Đúng rồi, tốt quá. Sao? Đưa cho ba cầm nè. Để đây nhá. Hay mình đọc. đưa cho ba cầm nào. Để đây nhá. Hay mình đào khoai đi ha. Khoai không?
They ventured deeper into the garden, where the soil was fertile and the vegetation lush. Dad found a clear patch of ground and took out a small stick. He gently took Lily's tiny hand, showing her how to use the stick to dig in the soil. Lily was very excited about this new game. She watched Dad's every move intently, then mimicked him using her own stick to scratch and paw at the ground. Sometimes the stick got caught on a root, and Lily would struggle for a moment before freeing it. Concentration and determination were evident on her small face.
Ồ, giỏi quá. Đúng rồi. Bới đi con.
And then their persistence paid off handsomely. After a while of digging with Dad's help, a round, dark brown tuber gradually emerged from the loose soil. It could have been a mealy taro or a sweet, delicious sweet potato. Joy was evident on Dad's face, and Lily also let out excited kek-kek sounds. Dad carefully lifted the tuber, brushing off the clinging soil. The precious spoils were solemnly placed by Lily into her small basket. She clutched the basket as if afraid someone would take away her newly found treasure. Afterwards, they continued their stroll, walking along rows of green vegetables, meandering through dense tree-lined paths, fully enjoying the beauty and tranquility of nature.
Đi này. Đi thôi, đi. Đây nè Ly ơi. Đi về thôi đi ơi. Nhanh lên về thôi. Này mũ này. Chặt nha. Về thôi ha.
The garden exploration ended, and Dad and Lily got back on the familiar motorbike. The little monkey still sat obediently in the front basket, not forgetting to hold her prize tightly. This time, their journey was a bit more challenging. The motorbike navigated a narrow, overgrown path with dense trees on both sides, their branches arching overhead, nearly touching. Sunlight could only penetrate in dappled patches through the leaves. The space was quiet, with only the sound of the motorbike engine and the rustling wind. It felt like they were venturing into a mysterious forest. Lily seemed a bit nervous, but still held onto her tuber. On the way, they unexpectedly encountered a man leisurely cycling in the opposite direction. A brief encounter, a friendly greeting, and then each continued on their separate journey. After riding for a while, Dad carefully stopped the bike by the roadside. He bent down, gently lifted the cloth covering the basket, checking if Lily was okay. The little monkey looked up at Dad, her eyes still shining brightly. Dad smiled, gently stroked Lily's head, and then continued the journey. Dad's care and attention for Lily were evident in every small gesture.
Bà đi đi à? Bà đi trước đi. Để cho bà đi nhé. Chưa? Để cho bà đi nè.
Hai giỏi vậy bà.
Cho bà đi kìa. Bà đi. Đi nè.
Con đây, con đi về luôn.
đến nhà rồi.
Finally, after a long ride through fields and small woods, the motorbike brought Dad and Lily back to their beloved home. The sun had begun to set in the west, painting the sky in hues of orange and gold. Dad carried Lily inside, ending an afternoon full of exciting experiences.
Ở đây ha. Đi đây. Ôi chà. Này da. Đào đi quay mà thương cái xe này đi à. Để mai cái gì đi chợ ở đây. Mai cái gì đi chợ ở đây. Đấy. Không ngồi đây nhá. Ngồi đây bao rửa khoai ha. Cái mũ ra nào. Mũ kìa, cất cái mũ được không? Cất mũ xuống bếp nhá. Cất mũ xuống bàn đi. Đây ngồi đi. Ta làm thế này cho Ly nhé. Bỏ kia đi con. Yeah. Wow.
The small kitchen once again became the center of all activity. While Dad prepared dinner, Lily climbed onto the familiar kitchen counter, observing curiously. Her attention was quickly drawn to the dark brown tuber, the prize she had worked so hard to find. Lily reached out to touch it, feeling the rough, uneven surface of the tuber. Dad was now washing something in the sink. Afterwards, he took the tuber and cut a piece with a knife. A surprise was revealed. The inside of the tuber was a beautiful and unusual deep purple color. Dad offered a small piece for Lily to smell. The little monkey sniffed curiously, perhaps trying to identify this new aroma. Dinner preparations proceeded quickly but carefully. Dad skillfully peeled the purple tuber and cut it into bite-sized pieces. The purple pieces looked very appealing. Dad also prepared some peanuts plump and full. Everything was placed in a steamer. A pot of water was put on the stove, and the flame roared to life. Soon hot steam began to rise, carrying the faint, sweet smell of the tuber and peanuts.
Đúng rồi. Giỏi quá. Đúng rồi, giỏi quá. Bỏ đây. Giỏi quá. Bỏ đây con. Bỏ đi. Ok, con ngồi đi. Ngồi yên đó ha. Thì còn lại để ba cho nha. Ok. Thôi được rồi. Được rồi. Ở đây thì chờ tí ha. Ở đây mình chờ xíu nhé. Được không? Mình chờ xíu nhá. Đi lấy ghế. Ghế này. Ghế đây này. Kéo đây con.
While waiting for the food to cook, Dad and Lily relaxed together in the living room. Dad held Lily in his lap, stroking her soft fur. Then he placed Lily in a lemon yellow beanbag chair, which looked very comfortable and just her size. They sat there together, enjoying the peaceful moments. In the distance, the television was showing some program with moving images and lively sounds. Lily seemed captivated, her eyes glued to the screen, occasionally tilting her head, as if trying to understand what was happening. Perhaps for Lily, it was an entertaining form of amusement, or maybe she simply enjoyed the flickering lights and colors. Most importantly, it was a moment spent beside her dear Dad. Finally, the footage capturing a long day for Lily and Dad gradually came to an end. The image of the green motorbike, their loyal companion on every journey, was parked neatly among the green potted plants on the porch, as if resting after a hard day's work. The steamer on the stove billowed with steam, signaling that the food was cooked. The aroma of steamed purple tuber and peanuts filled the kitchen, awakening the senses and creating a cozy atmosphere.
Nhanh. Chín rồi. Ngồi đây. Đây.
Dad carefully dished out the soft, steaming purple tuber pieces and A of savory peanuts onto a plate. He sat down at the small table where Lily was already waiting expectantly. Dad lovingly fed Lily each piece of tuber, each peanut. The little monkey slowly savored the special dinner, the reward of her afternoon adventure. The sweet, earthy taste of the tuber and the rich flavor of the peanuts blended together, creating an unforgettable taste. Dad also tasted the food himself, a satisfied smile on his face. It was a simple meal, yet filled with so much love and sharing. Another day passed, a day filled with countless activities, discoveries, and memorable moments. From the mischievous antics of the early morning, the colorful trip to the local market, the warm lunch, the peaceful afternoon nap, to the adventure of finding the tuber in the garden and the delicious dinner. All these moments wove together a vivid and touching picture of the special father-daughter bond between a human and the little monkey Lily. It was not just about care, but also about companionship, understanding, and sharing the simple joys of life. Lily, with her mischief and charm, brought joy and warmth to the small house, and in return, she received boundless love and care from her dad. Tomorrow, a new day would begin, and surely many more exciting adventures awaited Dad and Lily. It all began in the cozy living room, where Dad was engrossed in his laptop. The phone rang, and after a tense call with his boss, Dad buried his head in his hands, clearly exhausted and under immense pressure. His keyboard clicks seemed heavier laden with an invisible burden. Dad was unaware that his every worry was being watched by the keen, curious eyes of Lily the little monkey. Lily, usually playful, sat silently in a corner today, observing Dad's every move.
Sếp thông cảm cho em nhé.
Muốn công ty dẹp tiệm luôn à?
Dạ em cũng không muốn như thế đâu. Dạ em xin.
Is it my fault? Because of me, Dad lost his job. So no more milk, no more fruit.
Lily's eyes shone with understanding as she watched Dad slump over his desk, letting out a long sigh. Unable to stand by and watch Dad's sadness, Lily slowly approached gently, touching Dad's leg, and then his arm with her tiny fingers like a silent comfort. Dad looked up his tired face, showing a hint of surprise as he saw Lily trying to comfort him. He managed a weak smile, picked Lily up, and placed her next to him on the familiar bed.
I don't need milk. I don't need fruit anymore. Don't be sad, Dad.
Lily happily snuggled into Dad's embrace, but the joy was short-lived. As Dad got up, seemingly to make a hot cup of tea to relieve stress, Lily's eyes drooped sadly. She didn't want Dad to face his sorrow alone. Dad sat down on the old wooden bench, still lost in his myriad thoughts.
Đi nằm ngoan đấy nha.
Dad doesn't seem well. I can't leave him alone.
But Lily didn't give up. She knew Dad needed comforting, and she was determined to do something to cheer him up. In a flash of mischief, Lily darted onto the bed, using all her might to drag her familiar pink blanket onto the floor. The soft blanket with its cute patterns now became a savior in the little monkey's hands. Lily, with her tiny strength, struggled to pull the heavy blanket across the floor, heading towards Dad. Dad remained seated, head in his hands, completely unaware of the rescue operation underway. It was only when Lily carefully placed the soft blanket right next to his feet that Dad startled and looked up, seeing the little monkey panting from effort, but her eyes full of anticipation. Dad couldn't help but be moved. He picked Lily up, hugging her tightly. The little monkey snuggled into his warm embrace as if she had just completed a mission of utmost importance.
Rồi, đi con chơi nhé. Lily ra đi chơi nhé, ba mời cái mền tí để ban nằm nhé. Lily ra đi chơi nhé, đi con. Đi ra đi chơi con.
Not stopping there, Lily seemed determined to take care of Dad thoroughly. She jumped down, scurrying to the small yellow mini fridge in the corner of the room. With her dexterity, Lily opened the fridge door and grabbed a carton of fresh milk. Milk wasn't just a drink, it was a symbol of the care and love Lily wanted to give Dad. She carried the milk to a small wooden table, placed it down, and looked at Dad with a pleading gaze, as if to say, "Dad, please drink some milk to feel better." Dad, now more alert, rubbed his eyes and looked at the milk Lily was offering him, his eyes filled with warmth. He took the milk, holding the little monkey in his arms as he drank sip by sip. The scene of Dad holding the monkey drinking milk created a warm and loving picture. When Lily finished her milk, she didn't forget her cleanup duty. She scurried to the small blue trash can, skillfully discarding the empty carton.
Gì Lily? Gì đây? Sao? Sữa cho ba hả? Đi bên sữa cho ba hả? Cảm ơn Ly nhé. Ba không sao nhé. Ly lấy sữa uống đi ha. Được không? Nhé. Không phải nhường cho ba đâu nhé. Con đói con uống nhé. Được chưa? Qua đây con. Và lấy sữa cho Ly uống nhé. Đây. Con uống đi. Đúng rồi. Giỏi lắm. Hết rồi hả? Hết rồi hả? Hết rồi bỏ thùng rác nhé Ly nhé. Mang con đi rồi, mang bỏ thùng rác đi con. Xong rồi hả con? Thôi đi ngủ nhé, được không? Đi ngủ nhé. Ha.
Finally, Dad picked up Lily and the pink blanket, and together they headed towards the bed. He placed Lily on his soft yellow pillow, then covered both of them with the pink blanket. Dad and Lily, warmed by their mutual affection, drifted into peaceful sleep. This story is a testament to the power of friendship and love between humans and animals. When Dad faced difficulties, little monkey Lily, with her care and small gestures, brought comfort and joy, helping him overcome life's pressures. It's a reminder that sometimes happiness and peace come from the simplest things, from the unconditional love of our four-legged friends. The video opens with the serene yet vibrant scene of a lush tropical garden where bright morning sunbeams pierce through the leaves. Amidst this fresh air, Lily, the mischievous little monkey, with her soft brown fur and quick, intelligent eyes, is joyfully climbing and exploring. Lily isn't just any monkey. She's a special member of the family loved and cared for by Dad, like his own child. With the innate agility and dexterity of her species, Lily gracefully swings from branch to branch, her movements fluid and free. She sniffs around, searches, then plucks a ripe fruit, brings it to her mouth, and enjoys it thoroughly, her eyes closing in pure satisfaction. Each of Lily's chirps echoes through the space, creating a cheerful symphony that breaks the morning silence. Meanwhile, Dad is still sound asleep on his cozy bed in a nearby room. He's had a long, tiring night of work, and this sleep is the most precious thing to him. The morning light filters through the window, painting streaks across the floor and illuminating Dad's gentle face, but it seems insufficient to rouse him from his slumber. Lily, after having her fill and playing to her heart's content, suddenly remembers Dad. With her playful nature and perhaps wanting Dad to wake up and play with her, she decides it's time to begin her waking up operation. The little monkey, without hesitation, swiftly jumps onto the bed, her eyes sparkling mischievously. She starts her familiar tricks to rouse Dad. First, Lily gently tugs at the corner of the blanket. Then, more boldly, she uses her tiny hands to gently shake Dad's leg. When Dad still doesn't stir, Lily even playfully climbs up and patiently jiggles Dad's head with her small fingers. Every action of Lily's demonstrates deep care, a simple desire to see her human companion awake and ready to start the new day with her. These gestures not only show her mischievousness, but also a deep bond, an invisible yet strong connection between human and animal. When direct attempts to wake Dad proved somewhat ineffective, or perhaps wanting to add a dramatic flair, Lily switched to a much smarter tactic. Her eyes suddenly lit up when she spotted the pink alarm clock on the bedside table. With her inherent dexterity, Lily carefully picked up the alarm clock with both hands. The little monkey placed the alarm clock on Dad's head, seemingly hoping the ringing sound would jolt him awake in a sudden and amusing way. And sure enough, after a few tense moments of silence, the alarm clock's ringing sound blared out clear and decisive. Dad startled awake, his eyes blinking sleepily, his face groggy and a little confused. He looked around then, down at the alarm clock resting on his head, and finally at Lily's seemingly innocent gaze beside him. As soon as Dad opened his eyes, Lily quickly jumped off the bed, as if her mission had been successfully accomplished, and it was time to retreat from the scene to avoid any reprimand. After that unique and somewhat comical wake-up call, the atmosphere in the room softened and became warm. All the tiredness and stress seemed to melt away. Lily, having completed her task, was no longer mischievous. She snuggled into Dad's embrace, seeking warmth and peace. Dad held Lily close, stroking her soft fur, and they both seemed to drift into a second deeper and more complete nap. This image highlights the trust and warm affection. They share a rare moment of tranquility amidst life's bustle. The peaceful morning passed, and after their brief nap, Dad and Lily were ready to start a new day full of energy. Dad realized it was time to prepare breakfast. They both moved into the kitchen, where natural light flooded in through the small window. The kitchen space suddenly became more lively with Lily's presence. Dad opened the refrigerator, took out fresh green vegetables, and began to prep them. The rhythmic sound of chopping knives echoed steadily. Lily stood by curiously, her dark eyes never leaving Dad's skillful hands. She observed his every move with fascination, as if learning a new skill. Not just watching Lily, also tried to help with clumsy but incredibly endearing actions. She might reach out for a small carrot or try to push a bowl closer to Dad, though sometimes her actions created a little chaos in the kitchen. Nevertheless, Dad just smiled gently. The interaction between Dad and Lily in the kitchen showed the closeness and comfort they shared in their daily activities, proving that Lily was not just a pet, but an indispensable part of the family. Once the food was cooked, an appetizing aroma wafted through the kitchen. Dad carefully spooned portions of the cooked vegetables onto a small plate specifically for Lily. He didn't just set the plate down, but gently used a fork to pick up each piece, bringing it right to Lily's mouth. Lily obediently accepted each bite, enjoying the meal with visible delight on her face. Sometimes she would even squint her eyes as if praising the delicious food. This moment was not just about nourishment. It was a special heartwarming instant filled
Lily
with
con ghé đi con.
affection between Dad and Lily. Dad's tender care for Lily and Lily's trust and closeness to her human companion created a warm and touching image. Mealtime was not merely about eating, but also a symbol of the deep love and concern they held for each other. In a fast-paced life, such simple moments become more precious than ever. The video opens with the serene scene of a peaceful morning as Dad and little monkey Lily step out of their cozy home. Gentle morning sunlight filters through the leaves, creating a calm and vibrant atmosphere. Dad, with a kind smile on his face, carefully places a small charming hat on Lily, as if preparing his companion for their daily adventure. Afterward, he puts on his own traditional Vietnamese conical hat, Non La, a symbol of simplicity and closeness to nature. This image appears so warm, showing a deeply bonded relationship where Dad and little monkey Lily share simple everyday moments together. They open the worn wooden gate and step out into the familiar garden. Their destination is a small wooden house situated in a large plot of land, where they'll carry out their routine daily tasks. The wooden house is rustic and simple, yet it exudes warmth and familiarity like a peaceful haven amidst nature. Their first task of the day is preparing for gardening. Dad begins by loading charcoal into an old metal container, getting ready to start a fire. Little monkey. Lily, with her inherent curiosity and playfulness, doesn't stay idle. She tries to help Dad by nimbly bringing small branches closer to the charcoal bin. Although Lily's actions are a bit clumsy, they show her enthusiasm and desire to participate in the shared work with Dad. While Dad focuses on preparing the charcoal little monkey, Lily shows a special interest in the gardening tools. She mischievously picks up a hoe, trying to imitate Dad's digging movements. Even though she can't perform this heavy work, Lily's eagerness and adorable efforts make Dad chuckle. He looks at Lily with affectionate eyes, occasionally patting her head as a sign of praise. When everything is ready for gardening, Dad starts digging the soil to unearth sweet potatoes. Each powerful swing of Dad's hoe cleanly breaks the earth. Little monkey Lily, after playing with the hoe for a while, also quickly joins in the harvesting. She carefully picks up the freshly dug sweet potatoes, sometimes sniffing them curiously with her nose, then brings them to Dad. The synchronized efforts between Dad and little monkey Lily show their deep understanding and bond, as if they've been doing this work together for a very long time. After harvesting the sweet potatoes, Dad and little monkey Lily carry their yield back to the wooden house. Back at the wooden house, Dad starts a fire in the metal container, preparing for their simple yet meaningful midday meal. Little monkey Lily, with her intelligence and agility, doesn't stay out of it either. She helps Dad place the round sweet potatoes onto the grate, over the glowing fire. They both sit together, watching the flickering flames and enjoying the fresh air with the faint scent of roasting sweet potatoes filling the air. This peaceful moment is their reward after hours of work. When the sweet potatoes are golden brown and fragrant, Dad carefully breaks one open, peels it, and offers a small piece to little monkey Lily. The little monkey accepts the gift from her friend, with great reverence gently taking it and savoring it. Both Dad and little monkey Lily enjoy their simple yet warm meal together, sharing these peaceful moments. The story of Dad and little monkey Lily is not just a glimpse into their daily lives, but a touching tale of friendship, trust, and unconditional love between human and animal. In a noisy and hurried world, such peaceful moments together become even more precious and valuable, reminding us of life's true values. Dawn breaks as the first golden rays of the new day gently filter through the window curtains, casting sparkling streaks of light on the wooden floor. In the cozy bedroom, a small creature with soft brown fur stirs. This is little monkey Lily, a special and adorable companion curled up beside Dad. Lily seems to have sensed the awakening of the new day. Her nimble eyes slowly open, observing Dad's still sleeping face. Lily's first destination in her morning schedule is the bathroom. This room for her is a world full of exciting things to explore. She curiously jumps onto the sink, her dark eyes darting about. With her incredible intelligence and ability to mimic Lily, attempts to perform personal hygiene rituals like a human. She picks up a toothbrush, brings it to her mouth clumsily, but diligently, even trying to take water from the faucet to rinse. After satisfying her exploration of the bathroom, Lily returns to the bedroom, still with the goal of waking Dad, who is still sound asleep. This time, Lily seems more determined. She uses every trick in the book, from gently tugging his arm, pulling the blanket off him, to even jumping onto the bed and trying to physically pull Dad out of his sleep. Lily knows that a new day will be complete only when Dad wakes up and plays with her.
Dad. Oh.
When Dad is still half asleep, Lily decides to switch to a special care method. She quickly runs off and brings back a toothbrush. With surprising care, Lily tries to brush Dad's teeth while he is still half awake. This action is both adorable and humorous, and it surely makes Dad chuckle in his sleep. It's a special way of showing affection and unconditional care that only the closest friends can offer.
Cái gì Ly? Cái gì vậy?
Finally, after Lily's persistent
Trời, nó văng cho ba luôn
efforts,
hả?
Dad wakes up. He rubs
Hả?
his eyes, flashing a warm smile when he sees Lily clinging to him. Lily quickly latches onto Dad's leg, not leaving his side, as if to ensure he won't fall back asleep. They both move together to the kitchen, where Lily eagerly awaits a delicious breakfast and other exciting activities of the day.
Đi. Đây, con mở tủ lấy trái cây đi. Lấy đi. Mang đây cho ba nào.
The kitchen is another fascinating kingdom for Lily. Here she demonstrates her amazing intelligence and agility. Without any help, Lily skillfully opens the refrigerator door. Her eyes light up when she spots a persimmon, her favorite snack, neatly placed inside. She carefully takes the persimmon out and hands it to Dad for him to cut it into smaller pieces for her. The harmonious cooperation between human and animal shows the strong bond and mutual trust they have built over time. Dad understands Lily's preferences, and Lily completely trusts his care. After getting her favorite snack, Lily also shows enthusiastic help in organizing things. She joins Dad in putting other snack packages into the refrigerator. Although Lily's actions can sometimes be clumsy, her effort makes Dad feel happy and warm inside. Lily seems to genuinely enjoy participating in Dad's daily activities, acting not just as a companion, but also as a diligent assistant.
Đây này. Mà chị đi này, đi lấy cái đây này. Đấy, vào đây. Đó, đúng rồi.
Once settled, Lily sits at a small table, remote control in hand, and enjoys her favorite snacks. This image highlights Lily's comfort and natural behavior in her living environment, treated as a true family member.
Ai đi nhé.
Later, during a second snack time, Lily again opens the refrigerator herself, retrieves a lollipop and a juice box. She tries to open them herself, demonstrating remarkable independence and self-serviceability. Although she sometimes faces difficulties, Lily still perseveres until she succeeds, then happily enjoys her treats. Not only intelligent and independent, Lily is also very neat and tidy. When food spills on the floor, she instinctively picks it up and carries it to the small trash can. This action shows that Lily has been very well trained and has a sense of general hygiene, a habit that many children also need to learn. Dad sometimes helps Lily clean up larger or harder to pick up items, demonstrating their cooperation in maintaining order.
Lily. Cái quần đi đâu? Cái gì đây? Cái gì trời? Cái gì Ly? Trời ơi, cái gì ăn vứt tung tung vậy? Nè.
One of Lily's most astonishing mimicking
Anh này phải để
abilities
gọn lại chứ.
is showcased when she
Bỏ thùng
enters
rác
the
đi, Ly.
bathroom and attempts to
Anh để
use the
vậy hả?
toilet like
Anh
a
để vậy
human.
hả?
This
Hả?
action is both humorous
Anh để
and
vậy vừa được
indicative
à?
of her superior intelligence and remarkable
gọn lại
learning
chứ.
capacity.
Bỏ thùng
She
rác
even
đi.
places a toy into the toilet
để vậy hả?
as part of a
Anh để vậy
game
hả?
or a further
Hả?
act of mimicry. When she
để vậy
sees
vừa được
Dad
à?
wiping the table, Lily doesn't want to be left out.
Nào.
She quickly
Cái này
finds a
bỏ thùng
cloth,
rác ra đi
mimics
nhé.
Dad holds the rag,
Ăn xong
and
rồi bỏ
tries
thùng
to
rác
wipe.
nhé.
Although her movements are still
Rồi, con lấy
clumsy,
bỏ thùng rác đi, mang đi bỏ
sometimes
thùng rác,
even
mau.
knocking things over Lily's effort and enthusiasm always
Đây
make
nữa.
Dad chuckle and feel warm
Đây
inside.
nữa.
He understands that Lily is trying to show her helpfulness
Cầm,
and
bỏ
attachment.
thùng rác.
Throughout the video,
Đúng rồi.
the relationship
Bỏ thùng
between
rác đi.
Lily and Dad
Sạch sẽ
is
chưa?
consistently portrayed as clear and
Đây
touching.
nữa.
Dad always gives Lily affectionate
Đây.
gestures, gentle pats, and soft words. He patiently teaches Lily
Đây, cầm cả hai cái
good
này nè.
habits from eating and cleaning to
Đây, cầm đây
behavior
nữa.
in daily life. At the
Cầm ra
same
đi.
time, he also provides Lily
Đi
with the
nào.
freedom to explore and express her own personality
Rồi.
without restraint or coercion. The unconditional love and
Đây.
respect that Dad gives Lily create a loving
Dạ.
and safe environment for Lily. The story of little monkey Lily and Dad is not just a series of daily activities. It is a moving tale of friendship, trust, and unconditional love between humans and animals. Lily is not just a pet. She is a family member, an indispensable
Nhớ chưa?
companion in
Nhớ
every
chưa?
moment of life. Lily's intelligence, quick wit,
Nhớ chưa?
mischievousness,
Ăn là phải
and
sạch sẽ
especially
chưa?
her genuine
Bao giờ
affection
ăn nhé.
have brought Dad's
Nhưng mà đi
life
ăn phải sạch sẽ nhé,
unexpected
cho bạn
joys,
thương nhé.
memorable moments, and valuable
Dạ.
lessons about unconditional love.
Bắt tay
That's a
ra.
special friendship
Giỏi,
transcending
chưa?
species barriers, proving that love can connect all hearts.
Bây giờ mình đi lau nhà nhé. Cái quần con để đâu rồi? Đi chúng ta bay xem quần để đâu nào. Đi nào. Đi.
One morning, at a small peaceful house, the air was very fresh and pleasant. The first rays of sunlight filtered through the leaves, dancing on the small yard. Little monkey Lily's new day began with a short stroll outdoors, perhaps to breathe in the morning air and welcome a new day full of energy. Afterwards, she toddled into the house, heading straight for her familiar little table, the place where she often sat to play and learn new things. As was her habit once she was inside, and in her spot, Lily carefully took off the hat she was wearing and the small pretty backpack from her back, then placed them neatly on the tabletop. This action showed a tidiness, a good habit that Lily had likely learned from her dad.
Oh,
A little later, perhaps, feeling a bit thirsty, Lily decided to pour herself a glass of milk. She showed surprising independence as she reached for the milk carton and a clear glass cup. With her tiny hands, she carefully tilted the carton, trying to control the flow of white milk into the cup. At first, everything seemed to be going smoothly. However, in the process, perhaps, because her hands were still a bit weak and not yet completely dexterous, Lily accidentally spilled some milk onto the floor. A small white puddle spread out on the shiny tiled floor. Realizing the accident that had just happened, Lily's first reaction was not fear or flight, but an effort to fix her mistake. She bent down and used her own small hands trying to wipe up the milk. But this method was clearly ineffective. The milk only spread out further. Not discouraged, a thought suddenly flashed in the clever monkey's mind.
Oh,
Lily quickly thought of a much better solution. She remembered the mop that her dad often used. Lily went to find the mini pink mop, a cleaning tool that Dad had probably gotten especially for her. With the mop in her hands, Lily began the cleanup job very seriously. She moved the mop back and forth over the spilled puddle, trying to absorb and completely clean the wet spot. Although the mop was a bit cumbersome for her small frame, Lily was very persistent and diligent. This action showed that Lily not only had a sense of responsibility, but also a surprising ability to solve problems. She did not run away from her mistake, but proactively dealt with the consequences she had caused.
Đây. Rồi mình bỏ lên nha.
While Lily was engrossed in her mopping, her dad returned home from an errand. As soon as he walked in the door, he saw a very interesting sight, his little daughter holding a mop attentively cleaning up. Lily ran happily to greet her dad. Dad asked her what had happened, and when he learned the story, he didn't hold back his praise for Lily for knowing how to clean the house and handle the incident herself.
Hi.
Hai, chào Ly nhé. Nhà chạy bao lâu không? Hả? Nhà có lâu không? Ủa? Nhà làm gì mà xài kìa hả? Ly mới đâu nhà? Hả? Làm gì vậy Ly ăn nhé? Rồi cái bàn sao ở đây? Cái bàn sao nằm ở đây nhỉ? Hay lạ nha. Đồ nhà hay lạ à? Hả? Sao? Về nhà có chờ có lâu không? Chờ có lâu cái gì ăn gì đây? Con ăn gì đấy? Cắt xét à? Trên tay nè.
Dad also helped Lily put a few items in the house back in their proper places, both to make the space tidier and to guide and set an example for Lily. His care and meticulous instruction showed his boundless love for his little daughter.
Ho, 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 ho! Merry Christmas!
Hi.
Đi đâu Ly? Đi đâu đây? Hả? Con ra ngoài nhé, cho ba làm việc tí ha. Tí nữa ba ra chơi với Ly nhé. Xong việc thì ta chơi với Ly nhá. Ok. Nhà đây.
Dad.
Đi Ly. Gì vậy? Gì đây? Đang làm mà. Ố, gì? Lily, hả? Sao? Cái gì đây? Ôi, cái gì đây? À, Lily một đón Giáng sinh à? À, Lily một đón Giáng sinh à? À, đi nào, đi ba chỉ cho. À, bây giờ nha. Bây giờ ba sẽ lấy những thứ này ha, đi ha. Ba lấy thứ này nhá, làm cái thông Noel cho Lily nhá.
Wow!
Cái thông Noel mà trái
To
cây nhá.
encourage Lily's initiative and diligence, Dad decided to reward her with a snack that she really loved. Lily happily accepted the gift from her dad's hand, her eyes shining with joy and gratitude. This reward was not just a tasty treat, but also an acknowledgement of her efforts.
Rồi, qua đây mình làm nha. Đây, vào đây. Đây. Bây giờ mình sẽ cắt cái cây nha. Đó, để bà thử thế này. Bây giờ ta cắt quả táo nhé. Đây, tay con, nhấc tay xuống, đúng rồi. Táo này sẽ làm cái đế nha. Đó, con bỏ táo ra kia đi, con bỏ cái vỏ ra kia đi. Giỏi lắm. Đến đây ha.
Afterwards, Lily continued to play the role of Dad's capable assistant in the kitchen. It seemed the two of them were about to embark on a culinary art project. They prepared many kinds of fresh, colorful fruits and vegetables together. Lily helped her dad wash the ripe red apples, the bright yellow oranges, the red strawberries, and many other types of fruit. She even carefully used a clean cloth to dry each piece of fruit before placing it in a large basket.
Đẹp Ly. Xem nào. Đẹp không? Đây Ly này. Đẹp không? Đẹp không? Bây giờ thiếu cái gì Ly? Thiếu cái gì nhỉ? À, thiếu tuyết Ly nhé. Thiếu tuyết nhé. Nè, tuyết này. Tuyết kìa, Ly kìa, tuyết kìa Ly ơi.
Wow!
Đấy. Đấy, tuyết này Ly này.
Great job!
Nè, có hoa, có quả này, có lá này, có tuyết này, thấy không Ly? Được không? Ok không? Được không? Ôm miếng nào, ôm cái nào, quay cho ôm cái nào.
Next, Dad began to use his skill to create a tree made of fruit, a very beautiful and amusing work of art. Lily watched each step with fascination, then used some smaller fruits to decorate and help complete the fruit tree herself. Finally, when the masterpiece was finished, Lily couldn't hide her delight and admiration. She picked her favorite fruits from the tree and enjoyed them with relish. The snack of fresh fruit was not only nutritious, but also a fun, creative, and warm moment, capping off a meaningful morning for Lily and her dad.
Đi ăn tuyết à? Đi ăn đi. Đúng rồi, lấy ăn đi nè. Đúng rồi. Đấy. Nè. Nè. Hãy Ly. À, của Ly đây hả? À, đây, ok. Ly giúp ba dọn nhà nhá. Bây giờ mình lau nhà trước cái Ly nhá. Đây ha.
The video begins with a familiar scene in any home cleaning. Monkey Lily starts her shift by gently placing a wiping cloth into a basket. This simple gesture shows Lily's neatness and astonishing learning ability. Immediately after Lily, together with Dad, begins the task of wiping the floor. Both of them, one large and one small, each holding a cloth, move across the floor. Dad bends down, wiping each section of the floor carefully, while Lily also tries to mimic him. Lily's small hands move rhythmically. Though she might not clean perfectly, her effort and enthusiasm are undeniable. The sound of cloths rubbing against the floor interspersed with Dad's soft chuckles creates a pleasant sound filling the quiet morning air. This harmonious cooperation isn't just about work, but also a bonding moment where the friendship between human and animal is clearly displayed. After finishing the floor cleaning, the atmosphere shifts
Được
to a
rồi Ly
more
nhỉ?
creative
Thành rồi đúng
activity
không? Cất khăn
decoration.
ra đây đi.
Monkey Lily shows great interest in the dry branches
Đây,
and
này.
bright yellow flowers.
Đây, đây cho con.
Lily's task is to assist Dad in transforming the bare branches into a work of art. Lily quickly runs to a basket filled with vibrant yellow flowers, carefully selects each bloom, then hands it to Dad for him to attach to the branch. Each time Lily hands over a flower, her eyes sparkle with anticipation and pride. It seems Lily understands that she's contributing to something beautiful. The decorating process unfolds in a joyful atmosphere as the yellow flowers gradually cover the branch, bringing new life and bright beauty to the room. Dad gently guides Lily, sometimes bursting into laughter at Lily's quick yet innocent actions.
Lấy hoa con, lấy hoa đi. Rồi, lấy hoa đi. Lấy hoa đâu? Đúng rồi. Dạ, đứng im, đứng im. Lấy hoa đi. Lấy hoa nào? Giỏi. Ly giờ mất cười Ly. Đúng rồi. Ly lấy cái nữa đi Ly. Kia lấy hoa đi, hoa đi. Hoa, hoa. Giỏi, Ly đứng im đấy nha. Giỏi, cảm ơn. Rồi, lấy hoa Ly. Rồi, cảm ơn Ly. Này, bắt lắp lên đây nhé. Này. Im, stop. Lấy hoa đi. Good job. Đây nè, giỏi. Ly lấy hoa đi. Lấy hoa. Đúng rồi, sắp xong rồi Ly ơi. Đúng rồi, sắp xong mình đi làm bánh nhé. Lấy hoa đi. Giỏi. Cảm ơn Ly nhé. Rồi đứng yên đây đi, qua đây đi, qua đây. Rồi, xong rồi. Hoa ở đây.
And then, the most exciting part of Chef Lily's day begins cooking. The kitchen is Lily's main stage, where she can fully utilize her mimicking abilities and dexterity. The dish they prepare is a traditional Vietnamese cake, banh chuông or banh tét, a type of sticky rice cake wrapped in banana leaves and boiled. The preparation begins with basic yet meaningful ingredients. Dad prepares the mung beans already processed golden and fragrant. Next are the fresh green banana leaves spread out on the table. Then come the clean, plump, sticky rice grains ready for wrapping. Chef Lily in her white shirt attentively observes Dad's every step. When Dad begins to shape the cake using a wooden mold, Lily doesn't stand by idly. She uses her tiny hands trying to help put the sticky rice and mung beans into the mold, then carefully wraps them in banana leaves. Although Lily's movements might not be as skilled as Dad's, her focus and effort are admirable. Each cake is tightly wrapped, square or cylindrical, symbolizing prosperity and good fortune. After wrapping, Dad meticulously ties each cake with string, ensuring they won't unravel during boiling. Monkey Lily sits beside him, watching every knot, sometimes playfully touching the strings, as if learning how it's done. After completing the wrapping, Dad and Lily together carry the heavy wrapped cakes to a large pot placed on the stove. Dad carefully arranges each cake in the pot, pours water to cover them, preparing for the hours-long boiling process. Monkey Lily stands by her eyes fixed on the pot, seemingly imagining
Kéo
the
khuôn này.
delicious aroma of the cakes when they're
Đó,
cooked.
xẻ.
The boiling of banchang
Rồi,
bantet
đi đứng ra đây
usually
nào.
takes many
Rồi,
hours,
đây
but
nha.
both remain patient, knowing the result will be incredibly rewarding. While waiting, Dad and Lily might
Perfect,
rest
yeah.
together, communicate with gestures and glances, or Lily might find new mischief to get
Rồi.
into. Occasionally, Dad helps
Đây.
tidy up small
Bỏ
items
đây.
scattered around the pot,
Rồi,
while
giỏi
Lily
quá.
also tries to assist.
Làm cái nữa nha. Cái tay lên, cái tay con. Cái gì đây? Đó, mình dàn đều ra con, đều ra. Rồi, chú đậu nha. Đây. Đó, mình dàn đều ra con, đều ra. Bánh này đẹp đấy. Này, mình dèo bánh này. Dèo bánh cho nó chặt nhé. Đó, nhà mình nhấc khuôn nào, nhấc khuôn đi, nhấc khuôn nào, cầm đây này, đây này, đó, nhấc lên, đúng rồi, đó, để khuôn đây nha, rồi, bỏ đây cho ba nào, bỏ đây, bỏ bánh vào đây, kia bỏ đây, rồi, tốt lắm, rồi, đừng cắn nhé. Giờ mình đi chiến đấu nha. Đây đi. Bỏ đây vào đây con. Bỏ đây này. Đúng rồi. Đậy đắp lại đi. Đậy đắp lại đi. Đây này. Rồi, ok. Đi, xong rồi đấy. Được rồi đấy. Giờ mình chờ nhé. Chờ bánh chín nhé. Cũng được rồi kìa, thấy không? Oh. Chết rồi. Đó. Lia, bánh thơm với lia, ta xem thử ha, nha. Cái gì? Hay quá hả? Xem hay quá hả? Hả? Đấy, hay quá hả? Đi xem ha. Cẩn thận con. Nóng nha, cẩn thận nha. Nắm đấy con, đừng nhìn để vào ấy ra nha. Rồi, đây xem này. Thơm quá hả Ly? Thơm quá ha. Nè. Đỏ lắm nha. Đỏ lắm. Vậy Rồi xíu mình cắt ra ăn nhé. Được không? Cắt cho Ly một cái nha. Rồi lao đi. Lao đi vào. Đấy, lao đúng rồi. Đây này. Tiếp đi con. Đúng rồi, giỏi lắm. Lao đi con. Đúng rồi, vào đây con. Mong chờ lắm hả? Hả? Cái gì đấy? Chô cha. Nóng Ly, nóng á, từ từ bạn ạ. Được không? Từ ba, từ nè. Đây nè. Đây. Cắt nha. Từ từ Ly. Đây. Đây.
And then, the most anticipated moment arrives time to enjoy the fruits of their labor. The cakes are lifted out, stripped of their vibrant green banana leaves, revealing their pristine white, fragrant sticky rice and mung bean fillings. Chef Lily, after all her efforts, now sits at a small table with the cake she helped prepare. She picks up a small fork, pierces a piece of the cake, brings it to her mouth, and savors it with delight. Each bite seems to carry the taste of hard work, friendship, and shared joy. Lily nibbles slowly, her eyes shining with satisfaction and happiness. The video concludes with Monkey Lily engrossed in eating the cake, a fulfilling end to a long day of tasks and experiences. This isn't just a video about a pet monkey. It's a touching story about a special relationship where Monkey Lily is treated as a family member, loved, cared for, and included in every daily activity. Monkey Lily not only brings joy and laughter to Dad, but also demonstrates incredible intelligence, affection, and learning ability. It's a harmonious, simple, yet meaningful life where friendship transcends all barriers.
Được không Ly? Ngon không? Ta thử miếng nha. Nè. Ôi trời ơi. Ngon quá ha. Đậu xanh với gạo ha. Nè.